Trump's graduation surprise leaves Melania Trump very proud mom. We got congressional hearings erupting after a very heated exchange between Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, also known as AOC. We're going to get into that later on today's video. But just as Rudy Giuliani was about to blow out the candles of his 80th birthday party, this guy got served with an indictment. Craziness. Barron Trump's surprising graduation appearance stunned everyone. Very proud moment for Melania Trump. And China's record-breaking U.S. Treasury bond sell-off, sending shockwaves throughout the market and making folks really question the value of the U.S. dollar and the U.S. currency as a whole. Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well today. I see a lot of you guys jumping in the comments and live here. Katalia, what's going on, girly? We got Steve Chech. We got Jugaloba Love. Terry Stratus, what's up, everyone? Hey, if you could just take a second, hit the like button for the video. Totally appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate you guys hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, sharing these videos with your friends and your family. It totally does help out the channel a ton. I really do appreciate you guys. So that's right, guys. Chaos is erupting during this hearing as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of really got into it. It was crazy. So this House Oversight Committee, House Oversight and Accountability Committee hearing on Thursday night, let's just say it went off the rails a little bit, right? And AOC and MTG, they kind of got into it a little bit. So the uproar began when Marjorie Taylor Greene accused Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas of wearing fake eyelashes during a markup to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. Number one, how many ladies out here wear fake eyelashes? I mean, and nothing against fake eyelashes. I mean, do whatever you do, whatever you want to do to make yourself look nicer if that's your thing. I'm just curious. No hate, no shame in the game. If you do, if you don't, it's all good too. But did you guys know that Merrick Garland, Attorney General Merrick Garland, may actually be arrested? I'm not going to go into it too much in this video, but Merrick Garland's in a lot of trouble. Let's just say that. So Marjorie Taylor Greene's comment ignited nearly an hour of disorder in Congress. It blew up. Lawmakers were yelling and insulting each other, making it very difficult for Chair James Comer to maintain control. So the situation peaked with a vote on whether or not Greene could continue speaking, which passed 22-20, pretty much halfway right down the line. But notably, Representative Lauren Boebert of Colorado, who was previously clashed with Greene, she voted against her. She said, quote, "I hope you bought your popcorn." Greene quipped during the chaos. Terry Stratus, appreciate you. Thanks so much for the $2 super chat. Definitely popcorn time. So the hearing was about holding Merrick Garland in contempt for refusing to hand over audio recordings of President Joe Biden's interview with special counsel Robert Hur. And despite already having the transcript, Republicans, they wanted the audio, but Joe Biden claimed executive privilege. Obviously, they're trying to hide something here, right? Anyway, the committee's vote to hold Garland in contempt, it passed 24-20 right along party lines, moving the decision forward, to the full House. Anyway, so the mayhem continued when you had Greene asking if any Democrats on the panel were employing the daughter of Judge Juan Merchan, who, by the way, is overseeing Donald Trump's hush money trial. Oh yeah, we got in the weeds on this one. So this ended up delaying the contempt markup from 11 a.m. to like 8 p.m. so Republicans could attend Donald Trump's trial. Representative Crockett ended up questioning Marjorie Taylor Greene's relevance, to which Greene retorted, "I think your fake ass." Marjorie Taylor Greene said, "I think your fake eyelashes are messing up what you're reading." That was not what you really want to do. Anyway, things erupted from that point forward. The comment infuriated the Democrats, specifically Representative Jamie Raskin, he called it beneath you, Mrs. Greene. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez called it disgusting. Maybe because AOC was wearing fake eyelashes too. I don't know if she was personally offended by that. But again, me personally, as a dude, we don't really care. Do whatever it takes to make yourself look pretty, to make yourself feel pretty. I'm all for it. Fake eyelashes, real eyelashes, do your thing, girl. Anyway, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she moved to take down Greene's words, condemning the attack on the physical appearance. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person, she said. Alexandria MTG ended up responding with, "Are your feelings hurt?" I mean, very sarcastically, leading to a very heated exchange between AOC and MTG. Basically just blew all out of proportion. Take a listen, actually.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on. Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
even
engage
the order of your committee.
Order.
Please.
There's a point of order.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Greene's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl? I don't think
we are gonna move, and we're gonna take your words down.
I second that motion.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
You agree to strike your words?
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Greene agrees to strike her words.
I believe she needs
Chair
to apologize.
recognizes-
No. She needs
Terry,
to
okay,
apologize.
hold on.
I'm not
Has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well, then
seconds.
you're not
reserve the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Chair.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Well, things got a little out of hand. She was so ghetto with it. She was so ghetto. Baby girl, we are not going to do this in my courtroom, okay? Oh my God. So the hearing paused as Comer decided what the next steps. But when it resumed, Greene, MTG, she agreed to strike her words, but refused to apologize, further escalating tensions. "I'm not apologizing," Greene stated, prompting Alexandria Cortez to demand an apology. Of course, MTG refused. The chaos resumed when Crockett asked if a hypothetical comment, about somebody's appearance would break congressional protocol, indirectly jabbing at Greene. So, it went back and forth. Oh my God. Representative Ana Paulina Luna of Florida, she interjected, demanding to strike Crockett's words and telling her to calm down. Man, yeah. So this led to a heated exchange with Crockett, who ended up retorting, "Don't you tell me to calm down." I mean, so the hearings disorderly stretch. I mean, this lasted like a good 30 minutes, ending after the panel voted to allow Greene to continue speaking. Representative Dan Goldman of New York, he joined the conversation, criticizing Luna for missing votes, to which she ended up coming back at him, basically calling him a trust fund kid. Oh boy. Then, of course, the chaos finally subsided, but not before highlighting the deep divisions and personal animosities among committee members. So, yeah, there you have it, folks. Oh, and let's not forget about the fact that your boy, Senator John Fetterman, got in on the action. He posted on Twitter, he said, "In the past, I've described the U.S. House as the Jerry Springer Show. Today, I'm apologizing to the Jerry Springer Show." Jesus. Oh man, House committee meeting devolves into chaos as Greene and AOC trade barbs. And then, of course, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on her Twitter, she retweeted or responded to Senator John Fetterman. AOC said, "I understand you likely would not have stood up for your colleague and seem to be confused about racism and misogyny being a both sides issue. But I stand up to bullies instead of becoming one. And to the women of Pennsylvania, I stand up for you too. Enjoy your Friday." Good day to you, sir. Oh my God. So anyway, that's what went down on Thursday. But moving on to Friday, just as Rudy Giuliani was about to blow out the candles at his 80th birthday party, he got served with some papers. Got hit with them papers. So Rudy Giuliani, who is a lawyer, or who was a lawyer for former President Donald Trump, is now facing some very serious legal issues related to the 2020 presidential election. So on Friday evening, Rudy Giuliani, he tweeted a taunting message and a selfie of himself surrounded by some smiling friends at this shindig. No, I'm just kidding. It was a party. I guess a shindig is a party. I don't really use the word, but I was watching that show Get Out the other day, and the word shindig was like in my head. If you haven't seen that movie Get Out, you got to check it out. It's pretty good. Anyway, quote, if Arizona authorities can't find me by tomorrow morning, he wrote in a now deleted tweet, then they must, number one, dismiss the indictment, and number two, they must concede that they can't count votes. So here's the thing. Giuliani posted, basically, they can't find me. They're almost out of time. If they can't serve him with these indictment papers, then basically he's off the hook. And he's like taunting them on Twitter. Hours later, after this post, Giuliani gets nabbed at his birthday party and served with a notice of the indictment. I mean, how the irony of that. I mean, dude, you could have just kept your mouth shut. Maybe the karma wouldn't have hit you so quickly. But man, don't talk smack until after the fact. Don't be talking smack beforehand. Oh my God. Anyway, this is craziness. It's crazy. Anyway. Ted Goodman, who's a spokesperson for Giuliani, he said the mayor was unfazed by the decision to try and embarrass him during his 80th birthday party. He went on to say that he enjoyed an incredible evening with hundreds of people who love him from all walks of life, ballers and broke folks. No, I'm just kidding. I added that part when he said all walks of life. But anyway, we look forward to full vindication soon. All right. Now, according to CNN, Giuliani is accused in the indictment of spreading false claims about voter fraud across the country after the 2020 presidential election. He allegedly falsely claimed that Arizona officials made no effort to find out whether the vote was whether the vote was accurate. Now, additionally, he encouraged Republican electors in Arizona and in 6 other contested states to vote for Trump Pence on December 14, 2020. Even though Donald Trump had lost the election. So these are the allegations, guys. John Eastman, another lawyer who worked for Donald Trump, he was the first person charged in this case to appear in court. He pleaded not guilty in Phoenix on Friday, and the other defendants, including Rudy Giuliani, they're expected to appear in court soon. Now, a lot of folks are saying, I wonder when Donald Trump is going to get indicted. I mean, they keep hitting him with all these different charges. That would literally just be like the 5th legal case he'd have to battle. I haven't gotten any information about that yet. Hopefully it doesn't come down, but it seems like they're just coming after everybody now. So what do y'all think? You think they're gonna indict Donald Trump too? It's crazy. Anyway, so by the way, if you guys haven't already, please do your boy a favor, hit the like button for the video. I really, really do appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday evening, and I want to thank you for spending your Saturday with me. Appreciate you guys. So this Arizona indictment, it really adds to Rudy Giuliani's numerous legal troubles since his work for Donald Trump after the 2020 election. In December, he filed for bankruptcy in federal court in New York after a jury ordered him to pay nearly like $150 million to 2 different former Georgia election workers for making false statements about them. Besides this, Rudy Giuliani is also named as an unindicted co-conspirator in a federal case against Donald Trump related to election subversion. Yeah, so he's facing 13 charges in a very similar case in Georgia. He's also being sued for defamation by Dominion and Smartmatic, 2 different voting technology companies that he falsely accused of rigging the 2020 election. But of course, that's not all. This was a rather eventful week. In fact, on Friday, Barron Trump actually graduated, believe it or not. He graduated from high school. Congratulations, Barron Trump. So Barron Trump's surprising graduation appearance stunned everybody, at least for a moment, and definitely a proud moment for Donald Trump and for Melania Trump. I mean, like, whenever a kid graduates from, whether it's, kindergarten or, grade school, whatever, middle school, junior high school graduation, college graduation, it's just a proud moment for the parents. Anyway, yesterday morning on Friday, Barron Trump, he graduated from high school at Oxbridge Academy in South Florida. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Barron, he's a little bit above average in height. He's standing at an impressive 6'7" tall. Barron received his diploma as his parents, former President Donald Trump and former First Lady Melania Trump, watched very proudly from the bleachers. Now, a lot of people were wondering, is Donald Trump going to attend his son's graduation, because he's got this this trial going on, this hush money trial, this witch hunt trial, hosted by Judge Juan Merchan and DA Alvin Bragg. Well, it turns out Donald Trump did show up proudly to Barron Trump's graduation. Let me know if you guys were rooting for Donald Trump to attend his son's graduation, because remember how the judge was threatening him with jail time if he skipped out on court. So let me know if you guys supported Donald Trump attending his son's graduation. Anyway, so Donald Trump, he's 77 years old. He was visibly happy. Like, I mean, with all these court cases, I don't really see him that happy, to be honest with you. And I don't blame him, because he's dealing with all this crap, but I'd be pretty pissed off too. Anyway, he was visibly happy, beaming with pride during the ceremony. He stood alongside Melania Trump, who wore a very stylish blue suit jacket, a white skirt, and a brownish straw hat. Anyway, so the graduation, it was held at Oxbridge University Academy, which has a yearly tuition fee of $41,500. I don't know anybody personally spending almost $42,000 a year to send their kid to school. I mean, that's like $165,000 for 4 years of high school. I hope he got more than I got out of my public high school education. But anyway, I don't have Donald Trump money, so I guess we're looking at things differently. Anyway, Barron had been attending this school for the last 3 years. Now, before Oxbridge Academy, Barron went to Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School in New York City, and then he transferred over to St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Potomac, Maryland, during his father's presidency. But despite being in the public eye, Barron has largely stayed out of the spotlight, splitting his time between New York and Florida, and rarely speaking in public, until Joe Biden tried to call out his dad the other day. Joe Biden talking smack, saying how when he came into office, inflation was sitting at like 9.4%. Barron wasn't having it. Barron jumped on social media, was like, nah, dog, when my dad was president, he left office leaving inflation at like 1.4%. So, or 1.6%. So get your figures straight. But aside from that, Barron typically stays out of the public spotlight. Melania Trump has been deeply involved in raising Barron and prefers to keep him close. She's also not really, big on being in the spotlight either. So that kind of makes sense. But recently, Melania Trump declined the idea of Barron serving as a delegate at the Republican National Convention, stating that he had prior commitments. So Barron has not yet announced his plans for college, but his dad, Donald Trump, mentioned that recent events such as protests and unrest on college campuses have definitely affected Barron's college choices. So Donald Trump has basically shared these thoughts during an interview on Philadelphia's talk radio 1210 WPHT, saying that, quote, he's a good guy, he's a senior now in high school, and he'll be going to college. And, a lot of these choices of colleges are changing because you see what's going on in the last month, end quote. So that's Donald Trump's stance on this. Obviously, he doesn't want his kid up around a lot of these wild, whether it's pro-Palestinian or pro-Israeli protests It's just a scene that Donald Trump would rather his kid not be a part of. So I don't blame him. You want to keep your kids safe. But Donald Trump also revealed that Barron is very interested in politics and occasionally offers advice to him. He went on to say, quote, and I could feel him on that because my kid, he's only 15 years old, but he gives me very solid advice. So I could see how Donald Trump's getting solid advice from his son. But according to Donald Trump, he said, quote, he's a little on the tall side. I'll tell you that. He's a tall one, but he is a good looking guy and he's a great student and he does like politics. Sort of funny, he said. He went on to say that he tells me sometimes, Dad, this is what you have to do. So, end quote. So anyway, after the graduation ceremony, Donald Trump was scheduled to fly to Minnesota to speak at the state GOP's Lincoln Reagan dinner, to which Donald Trump nearly fell off the stage after he realized that the podium was not properly mounted to the floor. If you guys want to hear more about the details on that one, check out my previous live on that one. But anyway, China has, Guadalupe Rubino, 6'7". That's a big guy. He's not going to fit in all types of cars, is what I'm saying. But anyway, so China's record-breaking U.S. Treasury bond sell-off sends the stock market into a panic. So in the first quarter of 2024, China sold a record amount of U.S. government bonds totaling $53.3 billion, according to the data from the U.S. Treasury. This is alarming, guys. This is alarming. It really makes you question the value of the U.S. dollar when you watch what China's doing. The fact that the dollar is no longer attached to gold, the fact that there are, a number of BRICS nations looking to unseat the U.S. dollar as the global world reserve currency. This is concerning, guys. So this move is seen by many economists as part of a strategic shift by China to reduce its reliance on U.S. dollar assets. This should concern you. I'm very serious, guys. China has been increasing its purchases of gold and other commodities as a part of a broader strategy to diversify its assets amid growing geopolitical conditions and tensions with the United States. Analysts are suggesting that China's strategy is influenced by the economic impact of the sanctions that were put on Russia after its invasion of Ukraine in 2022. So basically, we get to thank Joe Biden for hitting Russia with sanctions and basically telling them that they can't use the U.S. dollar as that action served as a global threat to all nations to say, hey, if the United States, can just say, hey, you can't use our money anymore, we're all potentially at risk if we piss off the United States. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be in a vulnerable position. And so now we see the likes of China dumping U.S. Treasury bonds as a result. This is very scary, guys. This is very scary. Craig Shapiro, he's a macro advisor at Leduc Trading. He mentioned that there's three main reasons for this trend. First, number one, he pointed out that the handling of Russian reserves by the United States and other G7 countries, including threats of expropriations and sanctions, likely prompted China to reduce its exposure to U.S. Treasury assets to avoid being similarly targeted. Okay. Number two, Shapiro highlighted the impact of rising U.S. fiscal deficits. We were just talking about I think it was my last live, we were talking about how much global GDP, the total national debt is for the United States, and it's growing. It was like $27 trillion when Biden stepped into office, and now we're up to $34 trillion in just 4 years. I mean, I don't know if we can afford another 4 years of Joe Biden running up that credit card for the United States. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so he complained that China probably anticipates that the United States interest rates will continue to rise due to persistent fiscal deficits, making it prudent to sell now rather than risk losses or repayment in devalued dollars. So China's making some big moves here. And if you think China is going to be the only country, you'd be wrong. No halfway intelligent country leader is going to watch what China's doing and not say to themselves, oh, wow, China's selling out of the US dollar? That's a big red flag. Should we be selling out of the US dollar? I'm just saying, these are some ABC rudimentary thoughts that any leader or economist for the country would be thinking. Selling these holdings would literally help China manage its domestic economy without risking the devaluation of the Chinese yuan. Now, of course, the U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell, he recently said that the Federal Reserve is likely to maintain the federal funds interest rate at 5.25 to 5.5%, where it has been ever since July of 2023 due to the persistent inflation. So for everyone who was expecting this big, massive Fed rate cut, this Fed pivot, we ain't seen this pivot yet, and we're almost coming up on a year now since the last rate hike. Brad Setzer, he's an economist at the Council on Foreign Relations. He offered a different perspective. He argued that the share of the United States dollars in China's reserves has been stable ever since 2015. So he's a lot more confident in the US dollar. Setzer explained, quote, if a simple adjustment is made for the treasuries held by offshore custodians like Belgium's financial services provider, Euroclear, China's reported holdings of U.S. assets look to be basically stable at between 1.8 and 1.9 trillion dollars. So in other words, he's basically saying, hey, you know, they did sell off a record number of U.S. Treasury bonds, but they still hold quite a substantial amount, sitting at between 1.8 1.9 trillion dollars. So don't worry about it. I'm just saying, I'll still keep my eye on it. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many people invest in gold, invest in silver, or other types of hard, tangible assets. But now might be the time to start thinking about that. This is not financial advice in the least bit. I'm not a financial advisor. Always consult with your financial advisor before making any kind of investment decisions. You know how the guy with the disclaimer voice, he has a deep voice and he speaks really fast. That was my attempt at doing that. Anyway, China's diversification extends to crude oil, where it remains the largest importer. Now, why are they importing crude oil from the United States? Why don't we just pump our own oil and keep it here and keep our gas prices down? I don't know. And then Biden kills the pipeline that would have made gas prices cheaper here too. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? In 2023, China bought a record 11.3 million barrels a day. This was a 10% increase from 2022, which was driven by a surge in fuel demand after lifting pandemic restrictions. So does Biden want us all driving electric cars so that he can sell all of the United States oil to China? Is that the goal? Maybe I didn't get the memo. Perhaps I didn't get the memo. Now, some economists speculate that China's buying spree of commodities could signal a strategic weakening of its currency, the Chinese yuan. The devaluation could make Chinese exports cheaper and thereby be more competitive globally, which would actually be appealing to China's leadership amid a manufacturing surplus and low consumer confidence. However, this particular strategy, it includes some, significant risks, higher import costs, increased inflation, potential instability in the global currency markets, and of course, the risk of trade wars as countries face an influx of cheaper Chinese goods. So this potential move is looked at by a lot of economists as being a nuclear option. So questions, comments, concerns, what you got? What's up, y'all? Let's see. Alicia Cleveland says Rupal gold. Then if he's okay. For Forbidden Planet says, I'm a farmer. I want gold and silver for my produce. Okay. I guess since silver is a less valuable, precious metal, it might be better to trade or barter with silver, since you could break it up into smaller amounts. Because if you had a piece of gold, I don't know how, if you had a piece of gold and gold is $2,000 an ounce. if you had some gold and gold is at like $2,000 an ounce, then let's just say you needed to buy something like a loaf of bread or maybe some chicken from the grocery store. It'd be kind of hard to like, break off like $10 worth of something that's worth like $2,000. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think silver may actually be a better bartering precious metal, but gold would probably be better for just holding value, large sums of it, if that makes sense. Let me see. Where you guys watching from? Everybody hit the like button if you haven't already. Drop me some comments, guys. Hey, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And let me know in the comments, what was the most interesting thing that we talked about today? I know we talked about Donald Trump, his son graduating, AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene going crazy in Congress, yelling at, offending one another with the fake eyelashes and whatnot. We talked about Rudy Giuliani getting served with indictment papers on his birthday in the middle of a birthday party. He can't even blow them candles out without getting served. So anyway, y'all let me know what was the most interesting thing that we talked about today. And let me know what you want me to cover on the next video. I really appreciate you guys. I look at all the comments. You guys help me to determine what we talk about next. So anyway, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.